in November is not about the next 4 years. It's about the next 40 years. Let me take you back to Constitution and governance. The President of the United States has the authority to place men and women as judges all across the district courts, the appellate court, and the Supreme Court. This current president, in his 4 years, has appointed more judges than every other president except Jimmy Carter. In 4 years, President Donald Trump has appointed 198 judges to the bench, 2 to the Supreme Court, some 50 plus to appellate court, and the rest to district court. And many of those appointees will sit as justices of judgment for the rest of their lives. 198 judges have been appointed by this president. Do you know how many of those 198 appointees are black? Of the 198 judges that this president has placed on the bench, not one of them is black. Not a single black face sitting as a judge under this president. 198 judges, and not one of them is black. So when you don't vote, you don't determine who stands at trial. When you don't vote, you don't get to sit in the jury and determine the fate of those in trial. When you don't vote, you don't get to help determine the judge that sits on the bench. So don't tell me you out here hollering Black Lives Matter if you don't vote. Black lives don't matter to you if you don't vote. Don't tell me you're mad that Daniel Cameron has not indicted the police officers who killed Breonna Taylor if you don't vote, because you ain't got nothing to do with it. How dare you not vote? When we don't vote, we dismiss ourselves from being part of leveling the playing field of justice in the United States of America.
Hey, welcome to On the Up and Up with Patrick and Talisha. And for this bonus episode, we did a co-podcast with Ariel and Austin Robinson over at the Double A Shenanigans podcast. This one's all about exercising your freedom to vote. We talk about our voter stories. We talk about our first time voting, getting registered to vote, and why voting is so important to us. And we get into it. And I mean, it's a really good episode. We did it last Saturday, and we've all had our voting experiences. We've all already voted, and we are encouraging our audience to go out there and vote. As per usual, go and follow us on our social media accounts. Our official Instagram is at Patrick and Talisha. My Instagram is at I am Pat Ratliff. Talisha's is at The Farm D Mommy. You can find Ariel at Airy Funny Comedy, and you can find Austin at _real_crusher. And don't forget, like and subscribe on the Up and Up with Patrick and Talisha. Leave us a 5-star rating and review, and we will read your review on our next show, and that gives you the best chance to become our listener of the week. And always email the podcast with your questions and comments about marriage to podcast@patrickandtalisha.com. So here's the episode. Y'all enjoy it, and y'all have a blessed day, and get out there and vote. Y'all two together get so stupid.
What?
You start acting like a dang idiot.
Boy.
Hey, what you doing today?
I'm about to tune in to Double A.
Okay, what's that?
Oh, it's a podcast show with Austin and Ari. You already know.
Hey, what they talking about?
Life, marriage, family, what it's all about.
Okay, so don't miss an episode.
Sit back, relax, and watch the fun unfold. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Double A Shenanigans. We have Patrick and Talisha from the On the Up and Up
With Patrick and Talisha.
Thank you. Podcast.
Wow.
And so we are going to be talking about voting and the big election coming up.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thank y'all for coming and joining us today. All right, so let's get into
I
it.
didn't say anything.
Because you never talk.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us, sis, bro.
All right. The girl's stupid. All right. So let's get down to business. I know you guys want to talk about getting registered to vote, so let's talk about it. How did everybody get registered to vote?
All right, well, what year did y'all get registered to vote? Because I got registered in 2004.
2008.
2009?
I think mine was 5.
Well, yeah, I actually registered in 2006.
Yeah.
But I couldn't vote until 2008.
All right, well, someone tell the freaking story then. Ariel, tell yours. You the youngest.
Well, I don't think I even was thinking about getting registered to vote, but one day on campus, they had like a voter registration
Which
table set
campus?
up. Everybody know I went to Lander. You up in this mug. Can't feel me. So, on the campus of Lander, on the campus of Lander.
Campus of Lander.
Campus Lander.
On the campus of Lander University, located in Greenwood, South Carolina, they had a voter registration table set up, and it was like, get registered to vote. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll do that.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
My story is real similar because I was going down Green Street and they were registering people to vote at the lovely University of South Carolina. And so I registered then, 2006.
Yep. Austin?
If I remember correctly, I think I registered at like a library or something like that. Right off Walhurst Road. It was across from the Domino's. But that's where I got registered at. It was
You
library.
will remember the food locations.
Yeah.
He
Go
can't remember
register
where
and
he
go
got
eat.
registered, but he
Go
gonna
register and
remember.
go eat. Yep.
He remember what was near.
There's a big lots and Domino's right there across the
Wow.
Patrick?
So mine goes back to the
my
spring
God.
of 2004. My senior year in high school. Shout out to Coach Greg Snowd. He was my... Coach Greg Snowd. All right, so Coach Greg Snowd. He was my government and econ teacher, right? And so he wanted all of us to get registered to vote. So he's a huge Daily Show fan with Jon Stewart. So, but what he did, he gave us the application. He was like, hey, if you're going to be 18 by November 2004, you can go ahead and vote. I mean, register to vote now. And I was 17 years old. So we just filled out the application. We submitted it. And they sent me back my voter registration card. And I was 17. And my first election was getting ready to go into Bush versus John Kerry. So that's how I did it. And it got done in high school. And like our whole class got to do it. So it made it real easy. Like he was really big on getting people to vote. So a lot of people who normally wouldn't have did it, they were just in class that day. You just fill out your information and you got you registered to vote, man. So shout out to Coach Greg Snow for that one. Yeah, so speaking of the first time voting, my first election, national election, was George Bush versus John Kerry in November of 2004. And I voted for John Kerry, and I voted specifically against y'all's daddy. Because he was a big Republican man. 'Cause he thought he wanted them tax cuts, and he wanted to be super duper rich.
Yep. Military.
Yeah, military and everything. And then I remember, like, I came back in like 2010. I was like, how the tax cuts going? When all the economy imploded.
Oh.
And freaking imploded. Y'all remember 2008, 2010? The economy just tanked because we just let the banks do whatever the heck they wanted with subprime
Yeah,
mortgage
I heard
laws and
they was doing
everything.
what the heck they wanted to
That's
do.
that's what happens when you deregulate the businesses, because the businesses don't give a freaking crap about the economy. All right, but for some reason we think that, like, oh, if we let the rich people have all the money, that's going to trickle down to the poor folks. But
That don't happen.
but rich people are rich because they keep their money. They're not going to go out and spend it.
They not
I don't
gonna
know why.
spend it.
I don't know why it's so like hard to understand. Rich people stay rich because they don't spend their money. They
Right.
keep it.
They stingy.
Right.
It
And
does
they
not
gonna give
trickle.
to us.
It does not trickle down. And if you don't put no regulation on these companies, they're gonna do whatever the freak they want to do,
Well,
including laying your poor butt off.
Right.
But wait a minute. What you're not going to do is talk about Bush, because we like Bush.
We did like Bush, but
Oh.
listen, I remember in econ class,
Tell that
whenever
to
I
the people
was
in
a senior,
Katrina.
when I was a senior in high school, our econ teacher, he used to always tell us how it's so important for us to vote a certain way, usually Republican, because he said that, you know, if we don't do that, then the bigger businesses and wealthier people, they won't be able to get the money that they need to trickle down to us.
So they was teaching y'all in
Literally,
econ class?
I remember my
Shut the
econ
heck
teacher
up.
teaching us that.
Well, folks, welcome to public education in South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
That's what they teach you.
Yep.
To vote red. And we wonder why South Carolina is a red state.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Literally got taught that.
Wow. See, I don't even remember paying attention to government and econ enough to know what they was teaching me. I don't even know if I was in that class. To be honest, I might have been skipping on that lesson. But, yeah, I can believe that happened in South Carolina, though. But I never really, I never really got into politics until college anyways. I wanted to become a news anchor. And so I majored in mass comm and then minored in political science.
So first you started out in nursing. Let's not forget.
Okay, well, first of all, nobody asked you
Hold
what
on.
I started out.
What happened in nursing,
Nobody
homie?
asked you.
What happened in nursing, homie?
What happened in nursing?
Tell the whole story now.
Okay, what happened in nursing? I failed chemistry 101, and I said I better not get up out of this lecture right now. Because if I can't get past the 101 and chemistry 101, everybody was taking that. Okay, if you was a history major, a nursing major, a teacher major, I don't care if you was the janitor cleaning up the school. Everybody was taking Chem 101. When I couldn't pass Chem 101, I said it's time to jet.
But it's very common for people to change their majors in college. So.
Yeah, and I said I was going to become a nurse because I said, I just want to make a lot of money. And even that's not even true with nursing, depending on what field of nursing you go in and what you do. So, yeah, so I failed chemistry 101. Thank you, Patrick. And then I changed my major to what
But she's a chemist in the kitchen, though.
Don't try to get no brownie points from me.
Oh, she's a chemist in the kitchen. Tell them how you cook it up, girl. Tell them how you cook it up on the show.
Actually, I really not, because that's more like bacon. I ain't too good at bacon. I can put the flavors together, though. You feel me? I'm the flavor doctor.
Wait a minute. So Patrick's trying to get on you. But tell him how your chemistry class was. Y'all was in the lab measuring water.
And I got an A.
Wait a minute. Say what? Measuring water?
Measuring water.
You better get an A measuring water.
Our chemistry class was designed to get the business students up out of that stupid science crap. And that's what it did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I was taking real chemistry. Or we was trying to take sales.
Because you was trying to be a real nurse.
No, that was the gen ed.
But that's stupid.
That was the gen ed. If I couldn't pass gen ed science, I was not trying to get into the nursing program. Because then somebody was telling me about, oh yeah, you're going to have to take anatomy class. You got to know every part of the body. And I said, what? They said every bone, every muscle, every nerve, everything. I said, what?
It was hard.
I said, I can't even tell you the real name for the funny bone. I better get up out of this thing. Let me switch majors. But so I went and I minored in political science. And so I was like, I'm going to need to know about politics if I'm going to be a news anchor. So I was like, I need that go hand in hand. And a lot of the mass comm majors minored in political science and stuff. So then that's when I really got into politics and government and stuff. And I had a really, really hard teacher. One of my professors, he had came from Winthrop, Dr. McMillan. I'll never forget him. And he had a reputation. If you take Dr. McMillan class, you fail him. Just go ahead and know you signing up to fail. Because it was hard. And them essays was hard and stuff. But I made A. I took like 3 or 4 classes with him. And I made a B the first time I took him. But every class I took with him, I made an A. Every class. And everybody was like, how are you getting A's in Dr. McMillan? I mean, me and Dr. That was my shout out to Dr. McMillan. That's my homie. But yeah, I was listening. I was interested. And that's when I really started to understand government. Because I didn't understand the high school. I don't even think you're smart enough or mature enough to learn about government in high school. But when you get to college, when it really matters, when you starting to vote and stuff, then you kind of understand how stuff works. And so I learned about a lot of international stuff too, and international law and politics and the UN and all that type of stuff. I hadn't really heard or learned about any of that until college. So, but still, I was never really into like the presidential elections because I couldn't vote yet. Mm-hmm. And so I was just asking my mom and daddy, who you voting for?
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm voting for.
Yep.
So my first election I voted in was 2012 because I wanted to vote in the 2008 election, but I missed it. I was 17. Yeah. Yep, barely missed it. And so I voted in 2012, and it was my first. I wanted to vote in the first, 08 because I was like, man, I want to vote for Obama. I want to help get him into office, and this is historical. I missed it, but I was part of the second round. Mm-hmm. I voted him in 2012, but that's because my mom and daddy was voting for him. I really didn't know why I was voting for Obama in 2012, but I asked my mom and daddy, who you voting for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Also, was your first time voting?
I really and truly, I think it was Obama. Like for real.
The first one or second?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Because of the fact that, like I said, I didn't get registered until 2005.
Oh, yeah.
So by that time, Bush was already in the second stint then.
No, it's the first one.
No, he was still in the second one.
No,
he
that
was in
is the second one.
Y'all
Yeah,
elected in 2000.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was in the second stint.
Look at political police over there. Second.
Well, he had my back because you told me that I was about to tell I was right.
Okay. We know the brothers stick together. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
I opened that up.
You did. We're others. We're others. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. That's y'all. Y'all too, especially.
All right, let us say something.
All right, go ahead, Bushy.
But yeah, so Obama was my first time voting. The importance of it came from just my parents saying you need to go out there and vote. It's your duty. People die for this. People, especially African Americans in general, it would not being able to vote at one point period of time, and even women too weren't able to vote at one period of time. But he just stretched the importance of me getting my vote out there, and it's something I wanted to do. And it was also cool seeing a black man, running for it, because that was something that had never been done before.
No, yes, it had. Jesse Jackson had ran before.
Who actually had a freaking chance?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, did Jesse not have a chance?
Jesse wouldn't get
no
it.
chance.
Oh, I ain't know.
What Herman Cain or something?
Did he
I don't
run one
remember
time
Herman
too?
Herman Cain.
Yeah, he did run.
Yeah, after Obama.
Oh, it was after Obama.
Yeah.
Really?
He was in the Trump one.
Oh, he was.
Oh, he was one of their nominees?
That's how long ago it feels, don't it?
Dang.
It's
I
like the
totally
999 plan. He
I
didn't
forgot
run
about
against Obama. Oh, he might have. Did he?
Are you sure, Patrick?
Man, I don't know. When did Herman?
Somebody grab a phone. We need to fact check this
fact
thing.
check that one.
I'm looking
Because
He might have been
I
Mitt
remember
Romney,
that.
but Mitt Romney, that's the one Mitt Romney won. And Trump didn't come and just blast out Herman Cain and all Ted Cruz.
Herman Cain ran in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see. Okay.
Yeah, that was Obama's
So
second
that was
run.
Obama, but he clearly got killed by Mitt Romney. So.
Right.
And he's been a stooge ever since. Anyway.
Herman Cain did.
He is, but he was a stooge.
He been a
He was a
stooge.
stooge. What was he last seen?
At
a Trump rally.
I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but look, stooge.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. He did get that COVID, though.
Yeah.
He got
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Herman. R.I.P. Herman. Who didn't go yet?
Me.
Oh.
So yeah, my first time was voting for Barack Obama the first time.
08.
So yeah, 2008. I remember coming home from college because we actually got to come home and vote. And I remember being in mom and daddy's room, like sitting there looking at all the stuff coming in, and then they're like, he won. I was like, oh my gosh.
I didn't think he was gonna win, dog.
You didn't think?
No, I wanted him to, but I didn't think he was gonna win. I was like, man, America not ready for a black president, like black man running the country, the most powerful country in the world. Like they're not ready for that.
Man, I thought he was gonna win. I was excited. I was so happy that I got to vote for him. And like I remember crying because I was like watching these other people, like everybody just
it was
being
emotional.
so moved by it. Yeah,
especially what I loved the most was just watching the older black people be like, I didn't think this was gonna happen in my lifetime, and I didn't think it was gonna happen in my lifetime.
Yep.
So I was just like, oh my god, this really just happened. Like whatever happened after this point, he just changed everything. Everything. And whether you disagree or agree with the man or not, he just did something that was unheard of, and he did something amazing for not only just black people, but for everybody who was watching it.
Yep.
Like, even around the world, it showed, look how progressive America has got to where skin color has not stopped somebody from being in the highest office in the country.
Exactly.
It was amazing.
That was the happiest I've been like the next day at work. While I walked into work, just floating.
Patrick walked into work like, fire me. I want you to try. I can't do that because the economy was still
bad.
Yeah, it was still kind of
It
bad.
was still bad.
But I'll tell you what's cool about the '08 election. So Kyle was born in March of '08, and Obama was elected in November. Well, his whole childhood, he only knew a black president.
Yeah.
So when Trump won, he goes, "I thought the president is black," and it dawned on me then that, oh my God, this boy ain't never seen a white president before.
Yep.
He didn't even know. Like, he only in his head, and of mine too, because he was born in 2011. But in their heads, it was like, the president is black. Like, that's like, I can do that. He black.
Right.
Like, it was just so cool to look at my kids and be like, bro, y'all only knew a black president. Like, y'all know that I can do that. Because for our generation, people before us, it's like, we didn't have nobody to look at and say, oh, I can do that because he already in there.
Yep.
But for them, it was like, wait, the president black. Like,
Right.
what's going on?
Any black person,
Any black
can
person can be the president.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was
I like
cool.
that.
So whether you agree or not,
And Jesse Jackson.
oh, and then I am. But after Obama, anybody else.
Anybody,
could.
yeah.
But before Obama, nah, everybody couldn't be there.
Yep. Obama had his own theme song, remember? Jeezy.
Oh, my president is black. My Lambo is blue. I remember that song. Yo, I used to bump that song. I was like, my president is black. Ah!
In Columbia, they had the Obama gas station.
Girl, they still got the Obama gas station. I had a comedy show there like last year before last. And I remember driving past and I called Talisha. I said, there's an Obama gas station. And Talisha said, oh, you must be in the hood.
Yep. That is where that one is located.
Yeah, that's what I love. But you know, the hood was going to put on for Obama.
Right.
Like, Obama was one of them. He was the only president. He really didn't need no Secret Service. You could have hired Ray Ray and Pookie and them down the street and ain't nobody going to get through.
So I do have to share this little tidbit with y'all.
Oh, here we go.
Look.
She was so proud.
I did see
Oh,
the
my
Barack Obama in person
This girl.
before he was elected as the president.
Yeah,
You
so he
know.
wasn't even the president.
I already knew he was going to be the president, though. And yes, our sorority. Alpha.
Take out the Alpha
sorority.
Incorporated.
Yes, at Pink Eyes, President Barack Obama, you know, he was
Of course.
soon to be president.
Soon to be.
He came in and he campaigned, he waved at us and he gave us that Barack smile.
Man, that Barack smile.
And even when it was happening, like I still didn't understand like how big of a
Yep.
moment it was
Yep.
being in the same room with them. Like I didn't try to get a picture. I don't even know if I was close enough to have gotten a picture,
Right.
but it was like, okay, he's on the campaign trail.
Yep.
Cool. He's making a stop here. Now he did bring Oprah with him one time to Columbia, and me and my mama tried to go.
Yeah, I did.
We mainly wanted to see Oprah a little bit more so than Obama. But yeah, it was cool to be in that time, to be in college in that time.
No, that's cool. I wish I could have saw him in person on the campaign trail. But like I also said earlier, it's super important to vote, especially if you are a woman or a person of color.
Yeah.
I was just looking up the facts yesterday, and this is only the 26th election that women have been able to vote in. 26 elections.
Wow.
It has not even been 100 years
Yeah.
since women have been voting. That's insane. So when I hear women say, I'm not going to vote, I'm like, girl, do you realize the women who marched for you? I mean, they wasn't dying at that point, but do you remember the women who were, not remember, but are you aware of the women? Did you not learn about women's suffrage in school? Like,
Right.
did you not learn anything from history class about women and voting? So it's so important. And then when I think about Black people and Hispanic people, because Native Americans had to actually be given citizenship. The people who was here before anybody else had to be given citizenship by the U.S. and then be able to give them the right to vote.
Wow.
That's just so crazy.
That is crazy.
So when I hear about people of color and women not voting, I'm like,
it
you
makes
don't
me
even-
mad. It literally makes me mad.
Yeah, it do. I try not to
And-
be offended, but I be mad.
But I be offended. It
Yep.
makes me mad. It hurts my feelings.
Yep.
Because it's like you said, ancestors, they put up with so much
Whew.
to get us to
Died.
this. Yeah.
Beaten.
For us to have
Yeah.
this luxury to just walk in
Yep.
and stand in line, press button, and now we get to vote.
We ain't got to take no literacy test.
No.
Do you know
Pay
if
the poll tax.
poll
tax?
tax?
Didn't have the brown paper bag.
Oh yeah, they had all
Gotta
kinds of
see-
stupid
yeah.
stuff. All kinds of like guess how
Kill.
many?
Yeah.
Murder.
Yep. Beaten, threatened,
Hung.
intimidated. Yep. all kind of crazy stuff, just so we can go and cast our ballot.
Yep.
If you were not, so then this is what's interesting too. So a lot of white people are like, oh, well, that wasn't my story, whatever. But if you were not a white man who was 21 years old or older and owned land, you also couldn't vote.
Property,
I don't know.
Yeah, you had to
property.
own land.
Yeah.
You had to own land.
So
So some of those 18-year-old white men back in the day, y'all couldn't have voted. The poor white people, you couldn't have voted. You had to own land and be 21 or older to vote. Yep. So a lot of us have come from the struggle and need to go and vote. If your family don't come from money, if you're not a white family that come from money and a long lineage of coming from money, y'all wouldn't have been voting either.
Right.
So it's just important to vote. And at this point, like, I really don't even, I say I don't care, and I mean it. I really don't care who you vote for at this point. I want it to be a honest representation of what America believes and what we feel and where we are at as a country. I don't want them to come back and say, well, 100 and some thousand people didn't vote in this state. No, let your voice be heard. So when the election come out, whatever the results are, we know for a fact this was a landslide. This is what America wanted, as a landslide. I hate when people talk trash on social media, get arguments and debates and yada yada, do all this back and forth, but then they don't go vote.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your voice is not being used where it's supposed to be used at. Nobody cares to hear you on Facebook if you don't vote.
I believe in shaming people into voting. I 100, like, shame them. Like, why are we even talking?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly. I remember being at the clinic and there were patients who used to like to talk a lot. But then I'd be like, well, did you vote? Well, no, I'm not eligible to vote.
Well, yeah, talk about that. Like, if you get a felony, you can't vote anymore.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
That's kind of messed up. I feel like especially if you a felon, I can see if you currently serving time, you in prison, you shouldn't got to go to the election. But if you done got out,
time,
you done paid your debt to society.
Yep, you should be able to.
You should be able to participate because you got to pay taxes.
If you
got to pay taxes,
if you got to pay taxes, you should be able to vote.
So you can't vote.
Yep, I agree with that. I think that's wrong. Who can't?
He paid $750.
Okay, $750.
Oh.
Him's paid.
He paid something. He paid something.
He put $750 on it.
He put $750 on it. But yeah, I do agree. If you got to pay taxes, you should be able to vote. So if the felons come out and they don't got to pay taxes, okay. Well, if you're not going to let them be American citizens, don't let them be American citizens.
Exactly.
They ain't got to pay no taxes either. Because Puerto Rico don't pay no taxes. But they got American citizenship. But they don't pay no taxes. They get the benefits of being an American without paying taxes.
But do they really?
Yeah, they really do. They get American citizenship.
I mean, they get it, but people ain't really rocking with Puerto Rico like that. They don't.
Oh, for real?
Think about
Puerto
whatever.
Rico. Puerto Rico.
We love Puerto Rico.
Oh.
But does the government?
No.
The government does not do a whole lot for Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah, the government don't love Puerto Rico. That's true. I thought we was talking about
No,
citizens.
us. We love them.
Oh, yeah, we love Puerto Rico.
I'm trying to go to Puerto Rico. Like, ASAP.
Hey, them my cousins. I got Puerto Rican in me somewhere.
Yeah.
Didn't you take the...
Oh, Darian, our sister.
Oh, yeah, Darian. Darian got Puerto
Shout
Rican
out to
in him.
Darian Marie.
Shout out to Darian Marie Photography for all your photography needs. That's my sister, my Puerto Rican sister.
Yes.
Love Darian.
She could totally school you on how Puerto Rico is not getting some of the luxuries.
You right though, when that hurricane came through.
Yeah.
They real dirty.
Okay, off that.
All right, we love y'all Puerto Ricans. What else? Talk about the 2020 voting experience.
Oh, it sucked. I just went Wednesday and today's Saturday, so that's like 3 days ago. It sucked. It was raining. It was cold.
Oh, you said in the rain?
Yeah, I stayed in the rain, man. But I brought my lawn chair and I brought my umbrella.
Yeah.
And I knew, because this was the day I didn't have to pick my son up from daycare. So I was like, okay, I can wait here no matter how long it takes. But the lines wrapped around the corner. And then, just like the roller coaster rides at the amusement park, that's just the line to get in the line.
Ooh,
Because once you get in the building, it's another line that wraps around the room.
Yes, that's what
And
I
it's
was
like,
expecting.
once you get inside, you're like, oh, I made it. Nah, you go on to the end of the line. You're going to wait until the waiting room of the waiting room for the waiting room. And so, yeah, all together, I got there about 9:30 a.m. I got out at 12:46. And, yeah, in the rain, my feet were, like, soaking wet and cold. But I did it because I know how important it is. And I'm going to do it because I got to do it because I even though how bad it was for early election, I just know election day is going to be
my
worse.
gosh.
Yep.
I do not want to be there on election day. Oh my goodness.
But for those of you all listening to our podcast who have not voted yet, you got to go on Tuesday because there is no more early voting.
Nope.
Right.
Not in
So-
South Carolina. New York still got it on Monday.
Okay. So in South Carolina, there is no early voting. In other states, there is no early voting. So you got to go on the Tuesday for the main election day. And whenever you sit there and it's uncomfortable, just remember that you still don't have it as bad as our ancestors did.
That's what I see.
They paid.
Yep.
With
They
their
paid.
lives.
They paid with their lives.
I literally just tweeted that yesterday, and I said, imagine the only trouble you got to go through is standing in line for a couple of hours.
Yep.
Imagine that being the only trouble that you got to go through.
And your
the
cell
system-
and your
but the
cell
system
phone
make it
dying.
hard for you to even do that though.
How so?
Then you got to stay in the line. Why is it this inefficient?
It's inefficient.
Because they want to
Because they're
discourage you from
right.
staying in the line.
Oh, yeah,
It's like,
for sure.
you gonna miss time at work. You miss time. You got to go pick up your kids early, and then you can't even what's the point of voting? It just doesn't fit in my schedule.
No, that's true.
And they're like, and who's most likely to that happen to? People with lower incomes.
Yep.
People, the elderly. People who probably vote, who are most likely to vote blue.
That's true.
Yeah. Now I did.
Minorities.
I remember in the primaries, I thought it was really sweet. There were several elderly people who came in, and everybody unanimously was like, "Nope, let them go to the front of the line."
They did it yesterday for us when we went to go vote. All the elderly people just got walked straight to the front. If you had a walker or a cane,
You got walked straight
you
up.
walked. And I wasn't even mad about it.
No, heck
Heck
no,
no.
not at all. Like I don't want you to have to wait in this line.
No.
I am able-bodied. I can wait.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
with that being said, my 2020 experience was very different from y'all's. Because I signed up and got me a good old absentee ballot.
And do you?
And it was mailed to my house. I filled it out at my parents' house,
Yep.
put it in the mail, and we checked it out yesterday. It has been
Verified.
received.
You got a blue check.
I got a
for
blue
real?
check. It is good to go. It's been counted, and it was a good experience. Like I went ahead and did it that way because I knew that on election day I would not be wanting to stand in a long line at the end of the polls closing. So yeah, I had a luxurious experience.
You had a luxury. Well, Austin, tell the people about our experience because we had a very different experience than both of you.
Well, my experience was not the same as yours because I didn't stand the whole time. Now, we did get there around 11:30,
I clocked it.
and I dropped off in the line because, as y'all know, Shenanigans, my leg has been on the mend, so I'm not going to go into it any more than that. Y'all already know. But, I dropped off in the line, and I went and parked the car, and we stayed in that place every bit of 4 hours. Like, literally, I kept looking back saying, I wonder where she's at, where's she at?
I was behind the building.
Yeah, all the way behind the building.
All the way behind the building.
And you had to start at the behind the building just to get all the way to the end that she was basically in to start with to go vote. So you had to walk all the way around, get in that line, just to get inside, like Patrick said. You inside the building just to go in the wait area. But yeah, she had to wait in line from the back of the building all around to the other side, which you basically started at.
Did y'all bring chairs?
She brought a chair. I waited. I sat in the car with the kids.
No.
I sat in the car with the kids.
Because I was
Yeah.
going to ask, who watching these kids?
Yeah, we took the kids, and I sat in the car with them until she got around to where we was at, and then I got out and, walked the rest of the way with her. But the experience was just long. It was long. Like I said, she was in the line forever. Getting inside the building was long. It was like we playing, what's the musical chairs? Every little bit.
Yeah.
Every couple minutes, you get up, move to the next, about 4 chairs down.
But it moved a lot faster when you got inside.
Yeah, when
it
you
did.
get inside,
It
it
did.
do move faster,
But
but
it was so slippery when I got in there because of the rain. I was like,
I didn't think about that.
So would y'all do it differently next year? Would y'all consider the absentee ballot?
Actually, I really like going to vote in person. It's something about casting that ballot and being in that room, and I ain't getting no literacy test. I ain't got
Because you would have failed it with that.
First of all, I have a degree. I have an English degree. What I wouldn't have failed is a literacy test. If they would have gave me a math test or asked me how many gumballs in a jar, I would have failed that. But I ain't gonna fail no literacy test. Okay? Sugar plum. So I like going and voting in person. I don't know, it's just a different experience for me.
Yeah. I like going and voting in person too.
I've done absentee before, like when I was in college, I did absentee. But But nah, I really want to go and fill that ballot. I want to see it go through the computer. I want to see it get counted. You know, you put your scan your ballot in. I like that. I love that thing.
Yeah, I do like that, but I ain't about that 4-hour life. Not whenever I don't have to do it.
I'm not
that
either.
way.
But this election is, every presidential election is a big election. But I just needed to go see my stuff get counted this year.
Yeah, I played Clash of Clans, so I was good.
You did what?
I
Played the game while he was
Played
waiting.
game.
He was fine.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We charged our phones up and we made sure. And then that was the other thing. We didn't want to send the kids to mama house. We didn't know how long it was gonna take.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lord Jesus, she gonna have all 6 of these grandchildren for however long. I was like, I don't want to do that to her.
She would have been done.
She would have been done it all. So I said, no, we ain't gonna do that. And then because his knee was hurting, I said, just sit in the car. I'll hold your place and we'll go in. I said, when I get to the front, to the door. But luckily he had found a park that was right by the door that you go into. So he saw me when I came and
That
got
was
closer. But I mean, I literally was all the way behind the building.
Yeah.
It was like a huge loop because when we got to the door to go inside the gym, we saw
And
the
y'all
line.
Y'all went Friday?
Yeah, we were Friday.
Because the Thursday before that, freaking tropical storm.
Right.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people missed Thursday
Yep.
and showed up on that Friday.
Yep.
Because I bet you Thursday you could have just walked right in there.
Probably.
I bet
I don't
you.
know. I rode by there Wednesday from picking up Colton and Jaden from school, and it was wrapped around this too.
bad.
It stayed
Yeah.
right around. I'm like,
Yeah.
because I'll be trying to time it, like, when
did too.
can I do it?
When was
Like,
gonna be the
I
best
tried,
time?
like, I thought, like, maybe if I get there at 11 when, like, the first rush is over with, then,
Right.
but I kept looking back. I was like,
Yeah.
nope, it keep filling. It just
Yep.
keep
Because
refilling.
when we left,
keep
it was
refilling.
back.
It keep refilling. Because I tried to go the week before at, like, 12. I was like, dang, everyone in the whole darn city had the same idea I did.
Right.
Yep.
And I
But
couldn't-
that's the other crazy part. Our city
Our
had one
city, yep.
voting place. Other places, like I've talked to people who live in Charleston and other places.
30
even-
minutes.
Not even 30. I talk to people who are in Anderson County, small counties and towns around. Oh, they're like, wait, you waited 4 hours? I was in and out in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And I'm like,
That's ridiculous.
you had it made. And Simpsonville is a pretty big city, too.
And not only did Simpsonville have to go there, Malden.
Oh, wait, Malden had to go to ours, too?
Malden on
Girl,
there.
Malden didn't
We
have
got
a spot.
Greenville
We had to
and
go to
Simpsonville.
Simpsonville or Greenville.
What?
Or
Yes, ma'am.
somewhere up in, like,
there
Taylor's
was
or
one.
something.
Yeah, there was a place in Taylor's, I think. Or
Well, that
Travis,
makes so
something like
much
that.
sense as to why it was so many people trying to
Yeah,
be there.
yeah. It was multiple cities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, that's just shameful. They ought to be ashamed of themselves for that. But again, it goes back to, I believe they was trying to suppress the vote.
Yeah.
They didn't want people to come out.
But people still did it anyways.
We still came out because we said, everybody I talked to was like, listen, I don't care if I got to wait 8 hours. I'm voting.
Yeah, I was,
Yep.
I was down there to stay all day. Folks.
I would have been there. If I would have had us spend the night, we
Yep.
would have been there. But I think that this is, I said this yesterday, but I think this was the longest line I've ever stood in my entire life. Like Black Friday or anything. This is the longest line I've ever stood in my entire life. And I don't regret it. I
Lines
No.
at
love
Six
it.
Flags.
And
Them lines at Six
I
Flags.
was just about
Or no, Disney World. You go
I
to
ain't never
Disney
been to
World.
Disney.
Yeah,
Shit.
I was about to bring up Black Friday too because a lot of people who stand in line for Black Friday, I
Yep.
pray to God that you are standing in line to vote.
Go vote.
Because if you can stand in line to spend some money,
Or how about stand in line when the new Jordans drop?
that too.
Or the new iPhone drop?
Yep.
And you standing in line for that, but then you talking about, ooh,
But you like, oh, that's a long line for voting. Oh no.
Please tell me
Please.
so I can slap you.
Right. Do better. And
Do
yeah,
better.
that's going to the shaming.
Shame people in the
Do
vote.
better.
Yep, do
Do
better.
better.
But we got the greatest listeners in the world, so I know our listeners went out and voted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
definitely.
I know our
all of our
listeners gonna go out
listeners
and
went out
vote.
and voted.
Yeah, because they
Or will
smart.
if they haven't
They
yet.
smart. Yeah.
Yes, we have a
We ain't
smart
got no
audience.
dummies.
Yeah, we don't have dummies in the audience.
Because that is so dumb not to vote. Especially, again, if you are a woman or a minority.
Yep.
Somebody fought for your right to vote. And if you're a poor white person,
Yep.
somebody fought for your right too, because they had to lift that landowner ban. So somebody fought for your right too. So we all in this together now. This is our country, and that's the thing people forget too. That's your American citizen right to vote. That's your duty. That is your duty to vote. So everybody got to go out get in these streets and vote. I don't care who you vote for. I just want us to have a clear representation and clear cut winner, so that nobody got nothing to say about, oh, Russia tampered with something, or oh, this was fake, or this, nah, let it be a landslide. However America feel, let it. If you feel like you want Trump for 4 more years, let it be a landslide. If that's what you want. If you want Biden for 4 more or for 4 years, let it be a landslide. If that's who you want. Just go out and vote and do your part as an American, and get out here in these ballots, cuz.
All right.
That's all I gotta say.
That's all we got, too.
That's all we got, man. Go out and vote. Exercise your right, because they might take it away one day.
Facts. For real though.
Now that was real talk right there.
Yep.
You know a lot.
Alright guys, we'll catch you on Saturday. We hope you enjoyed this bonus episode about the election and voting. It is important. It is your right.
Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in, Shenanigans.
Gang, 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 gang. Bye, y'all.
Hey, what you doing today?
I'm about to tune in to Double A.
Okay, what's that?
Oh, it's a podcast show with Austin and Ari. You already know.
Hey, what they talking about?
Life, marriage, family, what it's all about.
Okay, so don't miss an episode.
Sit back, relax, and watch the fun unfold. Yeah.